Today we're going to talk about probably the biggest upset of the year so far. We're going to talk about how James Madison beat the Michigan State Spartans on opening day at home for Michigan State. So obviously the reaction to this is going to be like relatively big. Like people are like, oh, upset, Michigan State's over, their season's done, they're terrible, they probably shouldn't be ranked, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go over some points for A, why I think it happened, and then B, why I think it's not necessarily the end of the road for Michigan State. There's still plenty of positives and what they can do to make sure they have a productive season from here on out. Let's go. The first and biggest area why I think they really struggled is they shot unbelievably poorly. Like, they aren't a great three-point shooting team, and they shot quite a few threes, and they missed a lot of threes. And so this was their opening possession. Again, like, it's not a terrible look. There's a lot of space, but there's usually a reason there's a lot of space. Throughout the game, they routinely miss quite a few open three-point shooters. Again, we can see the closeout here. They're paying respect more to the inside. And so if you're not going to have great three-point shooters that can command respect, you're going to have to find other ways to generate that respect or generate that efficient offense. And you're going to have to find ways to get good looks, essentially, if a three-pointer isn't your look. Just looking at the stats real quick, Michigan State actually shot 1 for 20 from 3, which is going to lose you a lot of ball games against anyone that's remotely competent. And James Madison isn't a bad team. 1 for 20 is going to lose you a lot of games. And so they got to find ways to make sure that 1 for 20 doesn't actually impact. So can you be a great three-point shooting team a great team without shooting three-pointers very well? Probably not super great, but you can be a good team for sure. I mean, Zion Williamson got paid a bunch of money, and he can't shoot threes on the outside at all. So Carr is a great example of this, and if you can't shoot from the outside, you at least have to make them respect your ability to crash the glass aggressively and try and prevent you from getting to the boards. And so use your athletic ability getting downhill where they have a big size and strength advantage. Especially if the counter argument is that teams are going to go small to try and make it so you have more skill, more shooting, blah, blah, blah. And if you can counter that by being unbelievably physical on the boards and crashing the glass, and so try and play inside, you can still be productive with that. And we can see Carr again crashing the glass. And this is top-notch athleticism. Like, if you can get this kind of opportunity on an offensive rebound, more power to you. But then what I think the single biggest, most impactful area for Michigan State that they need to prioritize is in transition. Transition is essentially, because you have less numbers, your three-point shooting doesn't matter as much because space is more generated on its own. So essentially it allows you where you don't have to have good shooters and you can still be unbelievably efficient in offense. I want to say the stat was the worst team in transition in NBA was still better than the best half-court team. So like if you can get this look, like this kind of look one-on-one with a guard going downhill, that's a win for sure. So then the question is, how does Michigan State go about getting these transition opportunities? So the first one is getting a quick rebound and then having bigs. Like I already said, Carr is unbelievably athletic. If you can just push the ball and beat the other people up the court, that is a major win. And even though it's not the cleanest possession, just pure athletic ability and the fact that people are trying to react to you is going to give you a lot of opportunities. So two things we know about Michigan State is that A, they play good defense, and B, they've already done a bunch of examples where they run in transition. So since we know that Michigan State is already good at defense, already has athletes, and already pushes the ball well in transition, and it's something Tom Izzo is known for, all those things, use those to your advantage to try and create the ultimate opportunities and give you looks that in times like that. This is the perfect example, is just using good hands. Okay, you get the turnover, now you have numbers, you're running downhill. Okay. The spacing doesn't matter because everyone's running backwards towards the basket anyway, so you don't have to spread people out because no one's at the rim already. Okay, so penetrate, look for the opportunity, find the athletic big moving in transition, get fouled. These are the opportunities that can allow Michigan State to still be a very, very, very good team. So in conclusion, even though they ended up losing this game, I do not think that all hope is lost for Michigan State, and they actually play Duke. When I'm going to release this, they play Duke later today, and I'm very curious how that game ends up. If you enjoyed this, feel free to like and subscribe, and have a great rest of your day.